What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we are going to do our off-season video. This is always a favorite time for me to recruit, all that good stuff. It never gets old. And, you know, in the last video, we went through our first ever season recap. Hopefully the ones who did watch it seemed to like it. I can always fine-tune that later. But now we got to shore up our roster off of our national championship team, try to make it better, so on and so forth. So let's get right into it. Now, before we actually go into off-season, there's a couple things I want to look at. I like to look at the roster and actually take down some notes before I actually head into the off-season and start recruiting. So we have in-season recruiting. We picked up 5 commitments, a halfback, a corner, 2 safeties, strong safeties, and an outside linebacker. Now you look here at the very bottom. As of right now, we got 58 guys coming back. 5 have already committed, which means we got like 7 spots left. And I'm not one of those who likes to over-recruit too much. My preference is to get pretty close to what we need and leave it at that. Having said all that, I know I need to get about 7 to 10 guys because there's a very good chance we're going to have 2 or 3 guys that want to leave early to go pro for one reason or another, or transfer out, or who knows. We're going to find that out here shortly. So that kind of gives me an idea on top of what we've already got committed right here. Well, let's go to the roster itself. And I have already went ahead and took down some notes. And for quarterback, we do not need anybody. We are loaded at this position for the foreseeable future. Halfback, same thing. We already picked up a commitment. And we have a bunch of bodies, but we're starting to get a bunch of upperclassmen. 2 juniors and a senior. So it's getting to that point where we need to start thinking about things like that. But we don't have to do that now since we got one coming in, so we're fine at this position. Fullback, we don't need to bother. We got a true freshman there. He'll be our starting fullback for the next 3 seasons. And we never used a fullback to begin with. Wide receiver, we actually need some help here. If you remember going back looking at that summary sheet, wide receiver was the one spot where they told us, hey, you need to fill up this spot because we got 5 guys coming back. We got 3 seniors, 5 coming back, and we need at least 6. So we at least need a minimum of 1. I put down 2 because we go 4 wide quite a bit in our offense. So I wouldn't mind getting 2 wide receivers in the offseason. Tight end, we got a freshman and a junior. I like to have just a minimum of 2, but we got 1 guy that will be a senior. This guy right here, so I wouldn't mind having a red shirt behind him for our 2 tight end set. Mainly we go goal line and stuff, unless we find an actual natural tight end that can help us out on this spot too, just besides Grant doing his thing at tight end. So I have a 1 beside tight end. Tackles, we have 4 of them. We got 3 sophomores and a junior, so we are okay for a year, but there's a very good chance Bo McCray will want to go pro early. We're going to find that out here shortly. So I put down 2 for tackles. I wouldn't mind getting another one and another one on top of that. Hopefully I can redshirt both or something. We're going to find that out. But my preference is to get 2 tackles. Guard, I wouldn't mind getting 1 because if you look where most of them are at, juniors and seniors. So we need to start thinking about redshirting some guys, bringing some new guys in so we can get them ready to go here in a couple of seasons. So I have 1 for guard. Center, we're fine there. Defensive end, now I will say this. We are okay here, even though I'd like to have better talent at center. It just hasn't really worked out yet. But we got plenty of bodies there. I have no need to go get another center. Defensive end, we do not need any more. We got plenty of them. Now we're going to lose 3, which means we're going to have 5 coming back. But one of them is one of our starters in Neil. Neil is one of our speedster guys. I still like to have some speed on the edge. We're running the 4-3. And if you notice, we got a bunch of 3-4 defensive ends. So what I'll probably end up doing is moving a linebacker down to defensive end. We can look here really quick. I'm sure we can find one. For example, this kid, well, he's a redshirt senior. He'll be gone. This kid, Joe Johnson, may be a possibility there. Or a middle linebacker such as, I don't know, one of these 2 guys I can maybe move down if needed. We'll have no problem picking one and moving the defensive end. So for that one, I just have noted move a linebacker. So defensive tackle, we are fine here. We got a bunch of young guys, 2 freshmen, 3 sophomores, so we're fine. Outside linebacker, we got 1 committed. 2 are leaving, but we got the 1 committed. So we're going to have 4 as is. I have not decided. I don't think I'm going to pick up another outside linebacker. I don't think I'll have to unless I can go ahead and write it down just in case I move one to defensive end. For example, like this guy, was it this one? Maybe this guy right here. No, wrong one. Joe Johnson, maybe a possibility to move to defensive end. I just love his size and his speed. I think he could do really well down at defensive end. But we'll see what happens there. Middle linebacker, you always need to kind of recruit this position if you're going to run the 4-3 because middle linebackers tend to produce better defensive ends just because they're much bigger and stronger. Haven't decided yet. I'm going to just I'll go ahead and write that down now. I may put one question mark. If we find a complete stud, yes, let's go get him. Other than that, we won't really need one. We're fine there. Cornerback, I have down written for one. We already got one committed, but we're really low on talent here outside of Murphy. Moss had a great season last year, but I wouldn't mind picking up the slack a little bit on the talent front. 82 overall, he's going to be a senior next year, and it's a huge drop-off behind him. So I wouldn't mind at least getting one more. Free safety, I wouldn't mind getting one more of those because Barry is another one that may want to go pro early, and if that's the case, we really need some help here. So right now, I got at least one. I may even put down two. Let's just go 1 to 2 there. Strong safety. We got 2 strong safeties coming in. They've committed, and we're losing one, and we got a junior. So we are fine as strong safety for the foreseeable future. Now, it wouldn't shock me if more strong safeties become interested in the offseason. That's just kind of the way this game is. But I'm not going to try my best to recruit them. We don't need them. Kicker, we got a really bad freshman kicker. He's bad enough at 70 overall. If I can find an extra kicker, I will. The problem is, if you got one kicker on your team that's coming back, there will be no kickers interested. So it would not shock me if no kickers were interested in us to begin with. The same with punter. We got Devin Jackson. He may be one to go pro early. If that's the case, we need to pick up a punter. So I have one for kicker, one for punter. If we can find them, we'll see what happens there. So I didn't do my totals. I could do that really quick. 6, 7, about 10 guys. So that kind of worked out perfectly. It's so weird how that works out when I have a number in my head and it comes out pretty close to what I wrote down in my notes. And that is it. One thing else I can do, I didn't look at it. I'm not going to. Well, we can go ahead and do it. It's just look at our starters. How many seniors are leaving and stuff. That way we can decide how many points we want to put in certain spots. Like we're losing 2 starting receivers. That's 2. We can look at, looks like we're only losing 2 starters on offense, which is incredible. 1 for defense, then you got 2, 3, and 4. So 4 and 2, that's 6 total. So that's not bad. So we're not going to have to put a whole lot of points in the recruiting. And besides, we're only needing like 10 guys. So let's go into play week. Let's advance to the off season. And let's go to school budgets. And we'll probably, we'll keep discipline at 20. Training at 45. I can maybe do 30 and 50 here and really buff up the training. Because, again, we don't need a whole lot. But I think I'm going to just leave this as is. I think I'm okay with that. Let's just go ahead and hit continue. And it looks like we are going to have some guys wanting to leave early. Tyler LeFew wants to go pro. I don't blame him. Brandon Scruggs, halfback, wants to go pro. I actually I may just let him do that. We got plenty of bodies there. McCray, left tackle, that doesn't shock me. He's had a really good career here so far. And Devin Jackson, the punter. So what I'm going to do is I am not going to bother with Scruggs. I think I'm going to let him go pro. LeFew, what I may do is do the bare minimum. See, we got 291 points to play with in week 1. So I'm going to do the bare minimum. The people who have watched me do this before know how I feel about this particular spot. I think it's completely random in terms of I could put 6 points, I could put 60. I've seen it go so many different ways, and a player still may leave or may go pro. So I don't put hardly any stock into this, but if I want somebody to come back, I do the bare minimum and just see what happens. So we'll do that with LeFew. I'm going to come back next year and work on refining my skills. See, that's all it took. I've done the bare minimum of 6, and his bars, you can see at the top, was halfway. And just like that, he's coming back. Scruggs, I'm going to let him go. We got Cox behind him and Larson, so we should be fine. Plus that big stuff freshman coming in. McCray, I can do the bare minimum because I actually want him to kind of come back because we're kind of low in this area, but I'm not going to dump a ton of points in him. I'd rather just go recruit a better offensive tackle or a younger one. Let's see. Look, I wish I could tell you I've made up my mind, but I can't right now. So we're going to do like one more time. It was a tough decision, but I don't think I'll be back next year, Coach. So he's gone. So I spent a grand total of 12 points, and he's still gone. That's fine by me. Devin Jackson, I want him to come back. Our special teams is going to be rough if we can't find somebody. So let's see what happens here. Looks like it's a lean or a stay. Again, I could dump points, but I don't want to. He's just a punter, but he's kind of important because he's both our kicker and our punter. But again, I think it's all random. Let's just go talking to Stan. You got to understand, Coach, this is a tough decision for me, so I'm going to do it one more time. Talking over with my folks, I think it's best for me to stick it out another year. Good deal. So he's coming back. So we're only going to lose two guys, Scruggs and McCray. We've already got our halfback situation good to go, and I got on my notes tackles we need two. So I think we're ready to go into the next phase. We do not want to export. I don't do any of the Madden stuff, although I think it's a pretty cool idea. I just don't need to. So we're going to go to continue to recruiting. And here we are at recruiting, the fun stuff. Now, I want to check and see our pipeline states. I think the only one we have at this point is California. Arizona used to be one, but we just didn't get enough to commit, which is not a big deal. We recruit nationally at this point. So let's go back down here to Hawaii. And let's check out, let's go to Hawaii prospects first and see what the deal is. We got a couple 3-star kids. Look all these quarterbacks that still want to come, even though there's no room for them. So a couple 3-stars and some 2-stars and a 4-star kid that we may look at in week 2. I'm still going to do the week 2 thing, and he may get upset that we don't recruit him. But I'm just kind of curious to see what our state look like. I want to go to interested prospects. That's where it matters the most. And looks like we got a couple 5-stars interested. And what did I tell you? There's a 5-star strong safety that's interested in us. But I'm not going to recruit him because we already got 2 safeties or strong safeties coming in. I wish he was a free safety, but maybe we can find one later on. So let's start off with athlete. We got a couple 3-star kids, a California kid and a Pennsylvania kid. I don't mind putting some scouting points on him because that's the first thing I like to do in week 1. Majority of the time is just do scouting. Looks like his 40 time went up, which is good. But again, I can't tell what he's into. I don't know if he's a running back. I don't know. Let's go to this kid right here. 6'6", 236, 4'6", He looks pretty strong, but I'm going to just go ahead and scout him for now, and we'll see what happens in week 1 or week 2. And besides, every time you scout, you use your program prestige pitch automatically to go with that. And I'm not going to bother with the 2-star. Like, here's a couple athletes. Oh, man. You always want to take chances on athletes if you can, but I'm going to wait. We can come back to this one because there's other things I want to look at. Like, I would love to have this kid in my program, but I don't need him. It's unfortunate. We got a California kid and a local product, a 3-star kid. Would be cool if he had the arm and whatnot, but we don't have the room. Let's go to halfback. This makes sense. Not many halfbacks are interested because we're kind of loaded there just in terms of bodies. Fullback, wide receiver, this is important. We need a couple of guys. So I'm going to try to find the 2 best that I can find. We'll probably just go through the 4-star kids, and we'll go from there. So here's a kid out of New Mexico. It's 5'11", 209. I'm just going to scout for now and see where this takes us. Here's a kid out of Pennsylvania. Looks legit. I'm just going to scout the rest of these. Here's one out of California. Another one out of California. And a 4-star out of Virginia. And here's one out of Kansas. At this point, we're a 6-star program. I go get whoever I want. We got two of our best receivers are from Mississippi. So, again, I don't have any restrictions on that at this point. And how many more 4-stars are there? Here's a kid out of Texas. And here's another one out of California. I'm not looking too hard at any of this stuff. We'll deal with that in week 2 when I actually put a scholarship on somebody. I don't really need to right now. Tight end, I wouldn't mind getting one of them. I want to get a blocker. These are all 2-star kids. I have no expectations on any of these to be really good receiving tight ends. I need more of a blocker instead. And I'm not really seeing one. Here's 6'7", 238. He's kind of strong. Let me just scout this kid out of a Hawaii local kid. This would be the one that I'd probably take just because he's an Hawaiian kid. I'm going to go ahead and put a scholarship on him. Otherwise, I'll forget. Let's just do coach prestige for now. Location is probably the one for him. Let's just go ahead and do location. How about that? Otherwise, I'll forget that he's the one I want to go after. Tackle. I wouldn't mind getting 2 of these. Now, we got 3 4-stars. I'm just going to do 4 stars for now because you can see I'm already down to 141 points. Here's a kid out of California. He's 6'10", but he's really skinny. He may be a good drop back, not a drop back tackle. I'm just talking about pass blocker. Maybe a pretty good pass blocker. Let me scout this kid out of California. 7'15" on the squat. Whew. Then 6'5", 332, California kid. I'll probably go after one of these 2. We'll just see which one kind of sticks out later on. I'm not going to scout this one. He's just too light for my liking. Although I think being 6'10" is pretty neat. Guard, I wouldn't mind getting 1. I need to find one that really fits the profile. For example, I need a pure... He's a JUCO. I don't need one that badly. He's out of California. These other ones... I'm just going to wait. We're not really... I don't think I'm going to scout any of these right now. Let's just keep going. Center, we don't need any. He's a 3-star. I'm not going to bother. We don't need any defensive tackles. Outside linebacker, we did lose one. We got one coming in. I did put one with a question mark. Look at this kid, Tim Joseph. Again, out of California. A- awareness, 4.48. He looks like a nice, ideal outside linebacker for me. I love his speed. I could scout these 2 3-star kids. I don't mind doing that. Let's look at these 2. Let's go to this one, Mike Britton out of California. Speed's okay. His awareness isn't all that good. I like to have some smart defensive players. And this kid is just a B. Out of the ones, I honestly may just go ahead and put a scholarship on this kid. I don't mind doing that. Middle linebacker. We got several here, but I only really want to go after one. Here's a JUCO. I'm going to go after, let's scout this kid out of Washington. 4.41 A-. Every bit of that looks pretty good. I love his speed. 4.41 middle linebacker. That's fast. Then you got this kid right here. Let's scout him. A.46. 6'3", 230. He could be almost a future defensive end. I'm really liking this kid just because of the speed. 4.41, so fast for a middle linebacker. I'm going to go ahead and put a scholarship on him. That's fine. How many points we got left? We got 95 points. We're good. Corner, I did put down, I wanted one more. Here's a kid, 6'1", 182, and another one, 6'3", 191. I'll take either one, but let's scout both. Kid out of California, 4.35. B awareness. His jump, what's his jump? 41.3. And let's look at this 3-star kid. This kid's only a C+, and he's not very fast, only a 4.46. So if I went after any of them, it'd probably be this one. I'm not going to bother with 2-star kids. It's just, there's no point. So let's go ahead and recruit, put a scholarship on this one. Yes, I like him better of the 2. Let's just go ahead and do that for now. Free safety, I want to get one. So here are 3 4-star kids. California, and California. And let's go up to the very top. 4.35 and a B. I like his height. 4.46 and a B. That's kind of a little slower. Then you got 4.48 and an A. I may go after 520 on the squad, 520, 445. I like this kid out of the bunch. I'm not going to put a scholarship on any of them yet. We're going to come back and go after one. I'm not dead set on one right now. This one will probably be the one I end up getting just because I need speed above everything else. Also, I'm going to be controlling safeties a whole lot more, especially free safety, so I wouldn't mind getting some speed. So let me just go ahead and put a scholarship on this kid. I like him out of the bunch, so we'll just go with that one. Here's a 3-star kid, 5'11", 196. JUCO, no, I'm not doing it. Strong safety, we're fine. I'm not going to bother. Kicker, we have a 2-star kicker. We can scout him. That tells me he's probably like a 70 overall kicker. That doesn't tell me a whole... I'm not going to bother. Punter, here's a 2-star JUCO punter. We can scout him. It doesn't look good at all. C+ on the accuracy, and I'm just not a big fan of JUCO. Just don't really need it. So back to athlete. I got 49 points. I can go back and scout some more people, or I could put some scholarships on some kids. I think I may go ahead and put some scholarships on some kids I really like. For example, I like both of these kids. You just never know what these kids can do. Always take a chance on athletes. So I'm going to just go ahead and put scholarships on these two. Quarterback, we're not going to bother. Halfback, no. Fullback. Wide receiver, we can go ahead and pick a couple here. 4.35 A plus. This kid looks incredible, except he's just really short. That's his only downside. He's very stocky, 209. 6'2", 198, 4.35 A plus, A plus. A 4.39 A plus. It looks like you can't go wrong with any of these so far. 4.41 A plus, A plus. A plus, 4.41. Like, you just get whoever you want. So I'm not going to put a scholarship on any of them right now. Do I need more height? Do I need another Rackley? Probably. But I already got Fritz in the fold. He may end up being my Z receiver starter next year. Here's another kid, A plus, 4.41. So every single one of these kids looks about the same, except their height and weight's a little bit different. 5'11", 6'2", 6'3", 5'11", 6'3", 6'5". I'm just going to wait and let that program prestige pitch take a hold in this week, and then we'll come back and we'll probably put a scholarship on 3 or 4 of them. Right now, we don't really have to. We've done the one for the tight end. Tackle. These were the only 2 I really cared about, and I'm going to go after this guy because he's smarter and he's stronger. Let's go after Marcus Benson. We'll just do the bare minimum for now. And I need 2 of them, don't I? I need to get another one. Let's just go ahead and get this one as well. Yeah, we need 2 of them, so those are the 2 I'm going to go after. I could look at some of these other ones, but I just don't feel like I really need to. Let's go to guard. I think I decided I wasn't overly pleased with any of these guys. If this kid wasn't a JUCO, I would go after him. Otherwise, I just don't think I need to. We're good there. Outside linebacker, we put one on Joseph. We put one on this middle linebacker. Put one on that corner. A free safety, none there. And that is it. So what I can do is go back and scout some more. We don't know the correct pitches for any of these guys we've targeted yet. So I have how many points left? I got 40. I can go ahead and scout some more guys. Like, I'm tempted to do all these athletes really quick because you just never know. A lot of local kids. I've had some real success from athletes from 2 stars. What other ones are we missing that I probably need to look at? Am I missing one? I know I'm kind of going through these multiple times, but that's just my thought process. Guard, I've already kind of went through those. Just making sure I went through those middle linebackers there. I can go through some of these. As anybody here looks abnormally huge that's worth looking at, like this Billy James out of California. He's not the smartest, but he looked like a really good, ideal defensive end. I'm going to go ahead and put a scholarship on him. Just because of his size, he's humongous. He would do really good as a 4-3 defensive end for me. We can keep on going. Corner, that's just not a big need outside of the one guy we're going after. We got the one free safety we're looking at. And I think the rest of my points I'm going to put on these athletes. Should I put one on this one? 32 points. Let's just go ahead and do it. It's local. We're not going to recruit him unless he could play some other position besides quarterback. He's not going to make it here. We could do it for this kid out of Colorado, Hawaii, California, Hawaii, and we can go through these. Again, you can't tell what any of these guys can do. You just don't really know until you actually get them on your roster and you can move them around. So we're down to 11 points. I can go scout somebody else. I'm not going to. Let's just go back to current targets. And let's go and put some points on... Oh, it doesn't really matter. Let's just go and put it like 8 points here. And 4 points there. And we'll do 4 points there. How about that? That way we've pretty much exhausted all of our points. Okay, that is it for week 1. Let's go to week 2. As expected, we did not get any commitments in week 1. That rarely, if ever, happens. So let's continue on. Let's go to our current targets. And we can look at, see if we need to make any adjustments here for now. See if anybody liked our original pitch. Looks like this outside linebacker didn't, but we're at the top of his list. I think we got a good chance of getting him. We just need to figure out what he likes. So the next most popular one is usually coach prestige. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to do the bare minimum. Next up, my middle linebacker, Zach Mangiero. That's a great name. He didn't like the program prestige, but it looks like we're still in good shape to get him. So let's go ahead and do the bare minimum. Let's just do coach prestige there. I can look and try to guess. Mississippi State, Virginia Tech, Florida, Georgia Tech. I don't see much of a trend there. And look where he lives, Washington. But he wants to go to the Southeast, apparently, or something. Go to the East Coast. I don't know. But we're going to go with coach prestige for now. Next up, we got a tackle. Looks like we're in really good shape for this kid. He just didn't like our coach prestige or program prestige. So we'll go coach prestige there. Another tackle. He did like our program prestige. So we're going to go ahead and put some extra points on him. We can adjust that later. Cornerback, Alex Jenkins. We'll just do, he's a 3-star kid. Let's just do coach prestige for now. Athlete, Trevor Neal. He didn't like our program prestige. He's a 3-star. Let's just do coach prestige. At this point, you're just really guessing. Same for this kid. We'll do coach prestige for him. Other middle linebacker, this is that late pickup we looked at. We'll do coach prestige for him. Do the bare minimum. Tight end, Jason Buttles. He did like our location. Why? He's an in-state kid, and he's a 2-star. Very good chance they're going to like your location. So we'll just do 8 there for now. And that is it. And anybody, looks like this Stewart kid committed really early to Arizona State. So we need to go back to our free safeties and go find somebody else. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to interested prospects. And now we can do our week 2 thing. Before, we've already went through our interested guys. I want to go to the free safeties and let's look at these couple other ones and let's pick somebody else. Oh gosh, here's a B and here's an A. One's just a little bit slower than the other one. Then I'm not going to go after any 2-stars. That's just not going to work. So which one do I go after? We can make sure. I'll probably go after this one. That's so slow though. Man, that's slow. 448. But he's really smart. And I'm going to be controlling him. So I'm going to go ahead. This guy's much stronger. I don't know if that means anything. I just don't know. What we can do. How many scholarships do we got left? We got 11. Let's go ahead and Amir Dukes. It's a great name. Let's just go ahead and put scholarships on both. As long as we can get one of them, I'll be happy. So let's just go coach prestige for this one. And we'll do coach prestige for this guy. So now we got 2 right there. We should be good to go. Okay, now let's go to the all prospects and let's do our week 2 thing. Let's go to athlete and let's look at some guys. How many points do I got left? 177. I have plenty. Out of the gate, we got a 4-star athlete. Local kid, Nate Fowler. Remember, this was the kid we looked at earlier. We didn't actually look at it, but that was the first thing we saw was the Hawaii prospects, and he was the #1 prospect in the state. And he got upset that we didn't recruit him. Now, it looks like he's a quarterback. I'm still going to scout him, and I'm going to write his name down. We're going to put in Fowler because he still may be able to play something else besides quarterback. We'll see. But I'll definitely want to scout him, and I'm going to go just to 3 stars, and that is it. We're at the point where we don't need to go anything below 3 stars anymore. And that is it for that one. Quarterback, we don't need. I'm not going to bother. Halfback, we're fine there. I'm not going to bother. Fullback, wide receiver, I do not mind looking at this. Like, here's a 4-star kid out of Louisiana. Worth looking at. You just never know. David Childress. Oh, speaking of, we got to go back and look at those wide receivers. We need to get put scholarships on a couple of them. Let's just go ahead and put his name down. D. Childress. And I'm going to put a star by the wide receivers because we got to look at that here in a little bit. Here's another 4-star kid, Demetrius Simmons, 6'6", 194. Look at this cat. Jeez, man, I want him to put us in our top 5. Golly. Look at that. 6'6", 194, 4.31 A+ hands. That kid is like a Randy Moss written all over him right there. He just got the same build. I bet his vertical, 39.5. Let's see. D. Simmons. Write his name down. So we got a plenty of wide receivers to choose from. Look at all these other 4-star kids. Man, how many points do we got? 156. Let's keep going. We'll do maybe just 4 stars for these because it looks like we got plenty of them that are interested. Barry Baker, another wide receiver out of Arizona. Put his name down. You just never know. We'll look at this kid right here. Robert Edwards, kid out of Texas. Awareness isn't the best, but I really don't need the smartest receivers in the world. We'll go Robert Edwards. Write his name down. And we're down to the 3 stars, and I'm done with that. This kid looks pretty big. He's a kid out of California. I mean, I can scout him. He don't look too bad, you know, for his size and whatnot. I can put his name down since I already went ahead and scouted him. Albert Hopkins. We'll do that. Tight end, I'm not going to bother. That's just not important for us. Tackle, this kind of is. Let's go to tackle. 6'8", 283 out of West Virginia. That's a little too small for my liking. Here's another 4-star kid, 6'2", 313 out of Arizona. 655. It looks like he's going to Colorado, so I'm not going to bother with that one. I should have looked at it before I wasted points. And now we're down to 3 stars, and I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to go to guard. Here's a 4-star guard. I wouldn't mind at least getting one. Is this guy impressive enough? Kid out of Illinois. 507 A+, 705 on the squat. I'm going to write his name down. We'll go guard. We'll put it R. Avery. And I'll just go down to the 4 stars. Here's another one, McAfee. That guy's way too small. I'm not going to bother there. And we're down to the 3. Center, we don't need. Defensive end, I'm not going to bother. Tackles, same way. Unless you're just like an absolute stud, I'm not going to bother. So let's go look at some outside linebackers. We don't really need... Yes, I think we're fine here. Middle linebacker, we'll just check it just to make sure. I think we're pretty settled at middle linebacker. A bunch of guys that are already interested. And now we're down to the 3-star corner. We can check here. You just never know. I can go down up to the 3s and be done with that. Like, here's a 3-star kid. 6'2", 194. There you go. This kid is ideal. This is what I want right here. This is why you do this week 2 stuff. Richard Washington would fit perfectly in my scheme. He's tall, he's skinny, he's really fast, and he's really smart. Ideal corner. Write that name down. And I'm just going to stop there. I think we're fine. Free safety, I wouldn't mind trying to find somebody here. For example, this kid out of Virginia, Jesse Ostrom. This guy's ideal. I like him. He's tall, he's fast, he's smart. And since I'm going to be controlling free safety a whole lot more going forward, he is exactly what I wouldn't mind having. We'll put his name down. And we're down to the 3, and I'll stop there. Strong safety, we just don't need him. We already got 2 guys in. And just to make sure we got those committed, and we do. Kicker, we need to check this just in case we can find somebody better. Like, here we go, 4-star kicker out of Oklahoma. Look at that. He's a whole lot better than what we have in that other kicker. We'll put kicker T. Smith. And then we're down to the 3 stars. Here's a 2-star kid. I'm not going to... I mean, I can scout him. We got plenty of points. It's not bad, but B, accuracy is not very good at all. You think it's okay, but it's really not in the kicker world. Punter, we can check this. Jackson is coming back, thankfully. But looks like none of them are interested, which is fine. And that is it for the week 2 stuff. But now I want to go back. When you look at our notes, wide receiver, let's go straight to wide receivers. Let's go back to interested prospects. And wide receiver, we need to select somebody here. If we can find somebody that liked our program prestige, I may go ahead and put one on him. Nobody liked our program prestige. None of these 4 stars. Here's one. Out of California, Steve Camp, 6'3", 179. He's not the smartest, but he's got good hands and he's fast, and I like every bit of that. I'm perfectly happy putting a scholarship on him. We're going to do that. And that is it. We didn't go after any of these 3-star kids. I'm going to put another scholarship on one of these, if not 2, because how many points scholarships we got left? We got 8. It's up to us what we want to do from this point. I kind of like this kid just because he's just stocky. He's just a little bit different. 6'2", I mean, just A+. All these guys look incredibly good. I mean, this kid looks like a nice little scat back, 4'4", 6'3", 210. Mark Jackson out of Virginia. Kid out of Kansas, 6'5", 219. Another kid out of Texas. What we can do, I don't mind going after the New Mexico kid. He just kind of caught my eye. Let's do Coach Prestige, put one on him. we can keep it local some more. Like this kid looks ideal. Derek Henderson looks like we're at the top of his list. I don't mind putting one on him. And we are already going after 3 guys at that point. So we can probably stop there for now. And what else? Let's go back and look at this. Tight end, we're going after 1. I got that listed there. Tackle, looks like we're going after 2 of them there. And those are the only 2 that I cared about. Guard, I think we're fine there. Corner, 1. We got 1 we're going after and 1 that's already committed. So I think we're okay there. Free safety, we're going after 2 guys there. Kicker, punter. So I think we're fine across the board. I think we're doing good on the interested front. So now all we got left is go back to current targets. And we got 70 points left. We can start really stocking up on some guys. So let's go to the ones that had a positive pitch. Max them out. And then we'll go back up and start maxing out everybody else. I know we had a couple here. Like this guy right here. We'll do max. Here's another one. We'll go max there. Am I missing anybody else? Here's another one. We'll do 15 for him. And that is it. So we'll go back up to the very top and we'll just put extra points on everybody else. How about that? So we'll go like 35. We'll do 8. We'll do 8. As you can tell, we're already running out of points here pretty quickly. I've already done that. Make sure I've done that correctly. Yep. We'll do 8 here. We'll do 8 there. We'll do 8 here. We got 5 points left. Now we're down to 3. It may be kind of tough to put those points on somebody else, which is no big deal. That's just 3 points. I'm not too worried about that. I think I may just leave it at 3 points. It's looking like that's going to be the case. And that is it. I think I'm okay with that. So we are done with week 2. That was pretty quick. Now let's go on to week 3. We should not have to... Yes, I do not want the CPU to recruit for me. So let's go on to week 3. So it looks like we got our first commitment of the offseason. Wide receiver Steve Capps out of Clovis, California. I've updated my notes now. Just I wouldn't mind at least getting 1 more guy there, and we should be fine. So let's go on to current targets and see what we got to do here. First thing I want to do is take out anybody that committed elsewhere. I'm not seeing any of that, which is good. So we can go back up to the very top. Marvin Watson, wide receiver. We still don't know what he likes. New Mexico, Texas, Arizona State, Arizona, Oklahoma. That's kind of local, so maybe it's location for him. We can try location, see if he bites on that. Next up, Tim Joseph, outside linebacker. We just don't know what he likes. Arizona, Duke, LSU, Ohio State. That's all over the place. It's untelling. It may be an academic thing just because Duke was on there. I thought that was odd, but none of those other programs are known for their academic prowess per se. So let's just do coaching style. Oh, let's do playing time. How about that? He may bite on that one. At this point, you're just guessing. Same with this wide receiver. Arizona State, Nebraska, Texas Tech, NC State. That doesn't tell me a whole lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and do playing time for him. Same with this kid, middle linebacker. What does he like? Mississippi State, Virginia Tech, Florida. That's all the East Coast. Again, is that a location thing? I don't know. We'll just go do playing time for now. That's usually like the 3rd most popular. Same with this free safety. USC, Georgia Tech, Michigan, LSU. That's all over the place. We'll just do playing time for him. How about that? So we're not having any good luck on the prestige front with any of these guys. Amir Dukes, free safety. Arizona State, Florida, Colorado, Notre Dame. Again, that's all over the place. We can do playing time, see if he bites on that. Tackle, that's same thing. Colorado, Tech, USC, Florida State, that's all over the country. Is that a playing time thing? Let's just do playing time. That's fine. Tackle, we know that we're going to max him out. Marcus Benson. Corner, we don't know what he likes. San Diego State, Arizona State, USC, Ohio State. That may be a location thing. We can try that. Again, it's all guessing at this point. Billy James, he's not really budging on anything at the moment. Let's do coach style. How about that? Coach style. Probably need to do coach style for a lot of these. Here's another one. Just don't know what he's really into. Let's do coach style for him and see if he bites on it. Athlete, just another, again, Stanford, Duke, Cal, LSU. Academics may be a thing for him on this one. So I'm going to take a chance. Let's just do academics and see if that works out. Tight end, Jason Buttles. He needs to go ahead and commit to us. And that is it. So we've done playing time. I'm going to leave it at playing time because, again, you just don't really know what they're into. So now let's go to our interested prospects and see what we're dealing with on the week 2 guys. So I wrote down Nate Fowler. Here he is. We're now in his top 5. What do you know? I'm going to go after him, and look at that program prestige out of the gates. Let's go ahead and just max him out. Now we got Childress, wide receiver. Is he on here? There he is. David Childress. We got him in. He has us in his top 5. And he likes our program prestige. Look where he's out of Louisiana. We're going to do... let's do 12 for now. That's good. That's all it took. And he liked our program prestige. So next up, we got Simmons. There he is. We got us in our top 5. In his top 5, let's go 12 for there. Looks like I don't have to do any more wide receiver recruiting if I can get a couple of these guys. Baker. Here's another one. Should I go after him? I'm already going after several others. Oh, geez. Let's go ahead and put our scholarship on him for now. And if we get some guys to commit, we can take a scholarship off for him. That's no big deal. Edwards was the last one. Look at that. We made his top 5, and he liked our program prestige pitch. So that's a lot of... We're going to take our scholarship off of this guy. We got way too many wide receivers. So we got plenty there, because if you notice, we are going after 5 guys, and we already got 1 committed. We're going to have a ton of wide receivers, but we could just get a few more to commit, then I can drop the scholarships off the rest of them. Next up, a guard. What's his name? It is R. Avery, and there you go. Look at that. Now we're in his top 5. We just don't know what he likes. I really like him, though. I'm going to put a scholarship on him. We'll do the bare minimum. And make sure I've done the correct, next pitch, which is coach prestige. I'm fine with that. Next up is cornerback. Cornerback R. Washington. We did not make the list, but that could be a week 4 thing. He may show up then. We'll see. Free safety. Jay Ostrom. Look at there. There he is. Out of Virginia. And what do you know? He likes our program prestige. So we're definitely putting a scholarship on that guy for now. And we may raise his points a little bit later. Last but not least is a kicker. There he is, Tony Smith. I'm out of scholarships. Oh, I'm out of scholarships. What's he into? I can't look and see, can I? Let's go back to our current targets. And I may take one off of somebody. Wow, I'm really maxed out on bodies, aren't I? Gee whiz, I got way too many. I may end up over-recruiting a whole lot more than I expected. Like this kid out of Texas, I'm going to go ahead and take it off of him. We're going to do that, and we're going to go back. We need that kicker more. We need that receiver. We'll go back to Tony Smith, and look at that program prestige. What do you know? We really lucked out on the week 2 guys liking our program prestige. So at this point, I am done. There's nobody else. We've already loaded up all of our scholarships. I didn't mean to do that, but we can go ahead and load up our points elsewhere. What I'm going to do is do it on all the guys that we have a scholarship or have a positive pitch. We're going to do 24 for him, and I may not have enough points to do the rest of these guys. Looks like I'm not going to. I'm just going through all, trying to find the positive pitches. There's another one. We've maxed him out. Middle linebacker. Let's keep going. And we've maxed him out. He should be the last one. Just to make sure. Okay, so how many points we got left? We got 18 points. We can max that on somebody important. Let's go after this free safety. We've already done that. I'm trying to think of positions we kind of need another commitment or two. Like, for example, the kicker, I wouldn't mind putting extra on him. Of course, we don't have to anymore. Let's do this outside linebacker. Let's do 16 for him. Now we're just down to 4 points. So let's put those 4 points on somebody if we can. It may be kind of tough. It's not that big of a deal if we can't. There it is. 4 points. We'll do like that. I'm not going to try to search for those last 2. Okay, that was a nice week of recruiting. Let's see if we get any commitments out of this. So we're going to go to advanced week and head on to week 4. It looks like we picked up a few more commitments. Free safety, Jesse Ostrom. He was a week 2 kid. Really glad to have him in the fold. He'll probably start for us not next season because Barry is back, but he's going to be a starter for us in the future. Glad we got a guard, so I can mark that off. We're just going to put one there, one for the guard, so we're done with guard. tackle. I wouldn't mind getting one more. So we got a guard and we picked up a tackle. So good to see that we're shoring up our offensive line a little bit. So now what we can do is go back to current targets and see who has committed elsewhere. Wide receiver Childress, Louisiana. I'm okay with that. That's not a big deal. Another wide receiver, Demetrius Simmons. I'm okay with that. A corner, Alex Jenkins. Going to San Diego State. I kind of wanted that kid. Athlete, Kenneth Benelli. I'm okay with that. And now we can look at, we're going down for this middle linebacker. Everything else looks like we're kind of staying the same or going up. Let's go up to the very top. Marvin Watson. We just don't know what this kid likes. Let's just go coaching style. Let's do coaching style for this kid. We'll just do coaching style across the board. Let's do 45 for him. The kicker. We're going to do 15 for the athlete. Let's do coaching style. If I can get to it. For this middle linebacker. Another free safety. Yes, let's go ahead and do coaching style for him. Free safety, another one. Again, I wouldn't mind getting one more. Tackle. Still don't know what he likes. Other middle linebacker. We're going down his list. But he can't make up his mind what he's really into. He may be one of those that may not commit anywhere. We'll go ahead and do... Let's do location. We're going to do playing time for this kid. And this tight end, he still just won't commit for whatever reason. So let me look at the wide receivers. I wanted to pick up one more. I only needed two. We already got one committed, and we're going after two more. So I think we're kind of fine there. So what we want to do is, I should have marked these off. Fowler, we got him off. And then Childress, we got some of those guys that already committed elsewhere. Simmons, Childress committed elsewhere. That might have been it. I should have marked these down earlier. But what we can do is go back to interested prospects. And there's this other kid, Barry Baker, out of Arizona. We may have already went after him, and we took it. Let's just go ahead and put a scholarship back on him. We'll do that. That was another week 2 kid that eventually put us on his list. Hopkins was the other one. The 3-star, 6'5", 226. There you go. He likes us. Again, you got to wait sometimes till week 4 to look at some of these guys to see if they put you in their top 5. The other one, we already took care of the guard. He committed. Corner. Washington. Hey, there he is. Richard Washington. Again, sometimes you just have to wait a week. Let's do coach prestige. I don't mind doing that. And Ostrom, he already committed. And we already got Smith. So I'm going to do all of that. Avery, Hopkins, Baker. I think we're okay the rest of the way. So that is it. I don't need to go after any more guys. We already have a ton of players in our current target list. So let's go ahead and max people out if we can. Let me quickly go through any of the positive pitches. Make sure they are maxed out. I need to max out this guy. Just to make sure I've done that correctly, and I did. Next up, we've maxed out him. Just keep trying to find any of the positive pitches. Here's another one we need to max out. We need to do that. And I've already... Did I mess that up? Nope, we're good. What in the world? Oh, we're already down to 20 points. What in the world? Didn't I already put scholarship on him? That's so weird. Huh. I thought I already put some points on this. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't miss. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. Middle linebacker. Let's keep going. We've maxed out him. So let's go back up to the very top. And we can put some points on some extra guys. Like 16 here. And we can do 4 there. We're already down to 4 more points. Let's do that. And that gets us down to 2 points. And that should be enough. I don't have to worry about trying to use those 2 points. Okay. Week 5. I wouldn't mind getting a few more commitments. So let's see if we can get some more heading into the last week. This is more like it. We finally got a nice little crop of talent coming in. 2 wide receivers. These were 2 guys. One of them is a week 2 kid. He actually didn't start looking at us till like week 4. Another one is Derek Henderson. So we are good at wide receiver. We picked up another tackle, so we are good at wide receiver. We are good at tackle. Outside linebacker, we picked up that one there, so I can mark that out. Middle linebacker, I wanted one. There he is. We got a kicker. I can mark him off. And then we got an athlete, Trevor Neal. We'll see what he can do there. So all that's left is I wouldn't mind getting one corner to commit and one free safety. We already got one committed, but I wouldn't mind getting at least one more. Let's go to our target list, and let's see if anybody else decommitted or went somewhere else. Yeah, that Billy James. For whatever reason, it just never worked out for us. He just didn't like us. I don't know why. So all that's left, we already have 8 wide receivers. We don't need any more, so I'm going to go ahead and take the scholarship off of this Watson kid. Looks like we got a chance of getting him. Do I need him, though? It's just like, oh, do you need another one? I mean, I can go ahead and do it. Looks like we got a positive pitch finally. Fowler, we can do the max here. A free safety, I definitely wanted him. And another free safety, Amir Dukes. I'm going to take a scholarship off of him because we technically don't need him. Corner, I kind of want this kid. Looks like we're just not going to get him. I don't know what the deal is. Wide receiver, another one. Just do it. You need him. We can go ahead and do it since we got a positive pitch and the tight end that will never commit. So these are the last guys we're going to go after. We're going to max out some points if we can. Let's just keep going. Looks like I've done a pretty good job of that so far. Let's do 16 for him. We've maxed out that. We've maxed out him. And we've maxed out everybody else. There's no really other thing we could do with those other 5 points. We have maxed out everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and head on to the end result of our recruiting. So let's see what our recruiting class is going to look like. And here is our last crop of commitments. We got another free safety, which is what I wanted. So we got the 2 that I was looking for. We picked up another athlete, Nate Fowler. This is the local kid. We'll see if he could do anything besides playing quarterback, but it's good to have him. We picked up one more receiver, which I'm okay with. As many receivers as we play, that's not a bad thing. And then we got finally that tight end committed. It took him long enough, but he did it. So the only thing I didn't get was another corner. I wanted to get one more, but I think we're going to be okay there since we already got one committed earlier in the regular season. So what we can do is let's check out our signings really quick. 2 athletes, a 4-star and a 3-star. Then you have a halfback. This is the regular season kid. Then you got wide receivers, 3 4-star kids. All of them look about the same. They're all kind of tall. They all can run a little bit, as you can tell. 4.33, 4.39, 4.35, and a 4.46, who's a really big dude. So that's a good little group there to come in. We got a blocking tight end, kind of, sort of. But at least we got one in there that we can redshirt. We picked up 2 tackles, 2 4-star kids. We picked up a guard. That's what I wanted. Defensive end, we're going to move probably one more guy down there. Outside linebacker, 2 4-star kids. Look at these rankings. The 4th best in the country and the 3rd best in the country. I really look at that stuff, too, to be honest. I probably need to look at those more. The 15th best middle linebacker apparently committed, which is good. Corner, we got one. That was from the regular season. Free safety, we picked up 2 of them. And strong safety, we picked up these 2 guys in the regular season. We picked up a kicker. And that is it. So we can go back and just go back and look here. Hawkins is the number 2 running back in the country. We picked up the number 3 strong safety. Athlete was the number 6. Kicker was the 8th. Outside linebacker was the 3rd. Receiver 6. Free safety the 6th. A bunch of single digits. So we picked up some good guys. A ton of 4-stars and 1 5-star from the regular season. So let's go to top classes. LSU, Texas Tech, Colorado. There's a very good chance I may schedule both of those or at least one of them. We'll talk about the scheduling in the preseason and what I'm going to do there. But Texas, and there we are. This is the highest class we've ever got put together. 5th in the country. 16 4-star, 2 3-star. We got the 1 5-star and 1 2-star. We can keep on going. Look at the top 10. Tennessee's 9th. Notre Dame is 10th. So is there anything else we need to look at here? I don't think there is. I want to go back to current targets. Look at Arizona State. They're really racked up on some kids that we was going after. Just more reason to put us in the Pac-10. Here's another one. Pac-10 kid. Put us in the Pac-10. Come on. Richard Washington's had to go to Cal. And that is it. So the next thing we are going to do is go to position changes. Next up is position changes. So at quarterback, we don't have to do anything. We already got 6 guys here. more than what we need. We can go to halfback. We did pick up, this is the true freshman, Adam Hawkins. He's going to start out as an 80 overall. So out of the gate, we're going to use him in some capacity. It's pretty much him and Larson. And I've just now realized Cox was a graduate as well. He was a senior. So he's going to play a whole lot more than I expected. I think he's going to end up being my downhill guy, my under center guy, because he can't catch all that well. So I think he's going to be a perfect fit in that little spot. Wide receiver, we got a bunch of guys here. Glover, Henderson's an 80 overall. Baker's 78. Then you have Hopkins as a 74. And Camps is a 72. So we got a lot of bodies here, but you look at the problem we got. We got 76 total players on our roster. I have to cut 6. I didn't mean to do that. Sometimes it happens. When you got a bunch of players want to come to your program, sometimes you got to get them to commit and you deal with it. Tight end, we did get the one kid. He will redshirt this year, or the next season, I should say. Tackle, we picked up 2. These 2 right here, 76 overall, 76 overall. I'm perfectly fine with that. McCray left. So who's going to be our starting left tackle next year? It's probably going to be Spencer. We're going to go here. We're going to do left tackle, right tackle, left tackle. I'm fine with that. That's no big deal there. Guard, we picked up 1 guard. Robert Avery, 78 overall. That was a good pickup. He can stay at... These guys are going to be my starters, so I'm okay with every bit of that right there. Center, we didn't have to pick up anybody. Defensive end, we're going to move somebody down, and we're going to... Neil is back. Why did I think he was a senior? No, it's Jasmine was the senior. I'm sorry. Neil is coming back. I'm so sorry. So it's Neil who's back. It is Jasmine who left. So I'm definitely going to put Neil. I may move him to left end if I can't. Let's just see what happens here. So let's just go to defensive tackle. We don't have to do anything there. Outside linebacker. We did pick up 2 guys, I think. 80 and a 76. These guys are going to be really good studs for us down the road. Starter, LeFew, Price is going to be a starter more than likely. So left, right, yeah, I'm okay with every bit of that. Unless I feel the need to move somebody down the defensive end like this guy right here, but I really don't want to. I want to redshirt a couple of these guys, if not both. Middle linebacker, I'll probably move 1 down to defensive end. It's whichever one I feel like that needs to go down. It can't be the freshman, Manjero. You don't want to move true freshman. It'll mess you up. But you can move like Scott down. I think that may be a good one. 6 feet, 249. I like his strength. And his speed is just as fast as Dowdell. And he's just a little bit bigger. And the awareness, I got to have Robinson start at middle linebacker because of, again, the awareness. So let's move down Scott. We're not going to do hardly any... We're a 4-3 team. We're not going to hardly have 2 middle linebackers out there at the same time. So let's go defensive end like that. And what I may do is put him at left, and we're going to put... Where's the other guy that we just moved down? It's Lonnie Scott. Yeah, we're going to put him at right end. Let's do something like that. I want Neil to be my starting left end. How about that? So middle linebacker, we only have 3, but that's fine. We don't need a ton of middle linebackers. Corner, let's look at the new guy we picked up was Josh Wilson. That's a really good pickup. 78 overall, 92 speed. Looks like he'll be our starting nickelback next season, unless I just want to play Hickman over him. But at least we got a little bit more talented at corner. Free safety, we got plenty of bodies here. 76 and 72. This guy may not do much. I may end up cutting him, unfortunately. Strong safety, we did pick up these 2 guys. 76, 76. Exact same type of player. But at least we got some bodies. Kicker, I'll probably end up cutting Gray. No offense to him, but Smith is just a whole lot better. And then we got Devin Jackson. And still a punter, so we're not going to do anything with him. So let's talk about these 2 athletes. Nate Fowler, 74 overall at quarterback. That's great, but he's not good enough to play quarterback for me unless we got no choice but to put him there anyways. And it's not looking good. He can literally only play quarterback. That's the chance you take. So I got no choice but to put him at quarterback. You look at his throwing power, is amazing, but his accuracy is awful. And we need somebody who can throw the ball accurately. But again, unless I miss something, he can only play quarterback. So again, that's the chance you take. Sometimes they can play more than just quarterback. Other times they can't. So we'll just go quarterback there. Trevor Neal. I don't know what this kid can do. We're about to find out. Looks like he could play fullback. That's not very useful to us. Wide receiver. He could play tight end. How fast is he? 76 speed. He can catch just okay. Let's keep going. He could probably play defense, maybe. He can't do anything. So we just got very unlucky on the athlete front. Just can't do anything. I mean, I got no use for him at fullback. He's a perfect fullback. Absolute perfect fullback. But we don't use fullbacks. Or I could put him at tight end. He would be useless at tight end, but at least he could be a decent... let's just go ahead and put him at tight end. I don't mind doing that. Let's just do that. We'll put him at tight end and Fowler at quarterback. Okay, that is it. Let's go to training results. Let's look at some guys who done better via training. We put a ton of points. You can see the center right here, Alton Gunn. Went up 8 points. Now he's at 86 overall. For some reason, he just really skyrocketed along with a couple other players. So let's look here. Let's go to quarterback. We'll do the overall sort. Petty went up +6. Gee whiz, he's a true sophomore. 94 overall. Incredible. Several other guys went up either 2 or 4. Halfback, 4, 4, 4. So it's good to see Larson go up 4. He's going to be playing quite a bit. Don't forget little Glenn Nugent. Remember this kid, 5'5", 162. Only went up 2. But he's got the 99 speed. He's going to be playing some special teams for me at least. Fullback, it doesn't matter. Wide receiver, who went up? Everybody went up either 2 or 4. Grant went up a couple. Glover went up 4. Fritz went up a couple. Well, I'm very good chance Fritz will probably start for me at the Z position if I had to guess. Look at tight end. McCoy went up 6. Cool to see. He's only going to block for me, but it's good to see that. A couple tackles went up +4. That's good to see. 88 and 86. So I got to figure out. I'm pretty sure Spencer is still going to start for me. But that's kind of close. Who are you going to start? We can deal with that in the preseason video. Left guard, we had a couple guys went up 2. Newsom's going to be a starting left guard. Center, again, Gunn went up 8. Just really improved in the offseason. Look at that, 4, 4, 6. We got plenty of bodies here to work with. Guard, 93. So this guy went up 3. Bennett went up 4. We got a right tackle went up 6. So Eric Lumpkin really took hold of that training. Now he's at a 90 overall. That's what happens when you put a dump of points into training. You're going to get a bunch of guys go up. Look at this. Neal now is at 98 overall. Foster at 84 and 74 went up 2 for White. And right in, look at that. Scott, 93 overall. That's the kid we moved from middle linebacker to right end. And now we should be fine there. So good to see that. He's went up at 82 too. I may switch those back around. I may put Neal back. Well, they're both at 82. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. Walker, 82. We just got a ton of talent everywhere. Defensive tackles. A bunch of guys went up 2, 3, or 4. That's good to see. Left outside linebacker. Price went up +4. He's going to be our starting left outside linebacker. Elamimian was our starter last season. Robinson went up 3, so he's a redshirt senior, and he's an 89 overall. Dowdale behind him. 90 went up +5 for LeFew. He's a 96 at a redshirt junior. He's definitely a 99 type of player. If he would stick around his senior year, I doubt that's going to happen, but we could get lucky. Johnson went up 4. Then you got the corners. Rogers went up 7, but he's only a 72 overall. Murphy went up 4. Moss went up 3. Hickman went up 4. That's good to see there. That tells me I could probably redshirt that freshman at corner. Then you got free safety, 97 overall for Barry. Just incredible talent. Cole behind him. Then you got the free safety. Anderson will more likely be your starter since Oliver graduated at 91 overall. Look at that, +7. Good for him. We needed that. Kicker, Gray. He's probably going to be cut, unfortunately, but we'll see what happens there. Punter, Jackson didn't go up any because he's already perfect. Okay, that is it for training. Now let's look at, unfortunately, we're going to have to cut some players. So as you can see, we have 76 players. We need only 70, which means we got to cut some dudes. And we're going to cut a bunch of quarterbacks. We don't need this many. Unfortunately, you know, like Richard Brown, I'm sorry, but I have to cut you. Here's a redshirt freshman, Jacobs. I mean, it's very easy for me to take out 3 of these guys. It just comes down to which ones I want to get rid of. Bush. Let's look at these arms here. Throwing power, 89. Just some really talented arms over here. Every one of these guys have an arm on. But Fowler, I'm afraid I'm going to have to get rid of him. He's not going to play for me. I can't do 76 throwing accuracy. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut Fowler. Next up, I'm going to cut 2 more guys at least. I'm not going to cut the senior because that's going to help us in recruiting later on. We can cut Marcellus and Jacob. Let's cut Jacobs. Oh, I love his size, though. Oh, man. What do you go? What do you do? What do you do? Throwing power and accuracy. He's got the worst arm of the bunch, though. Oh, man. 6'5", 215 for him. Rob Marcellus. I'll cut him. 5 of them. Let's just wait. I may leave it there for now. Halfback. We got way too many guys. Like, just way too many. So this kid right here, I'll probably cut. He's 72 overall. Only 85 speed, and he's not strong. So he can't do anything. He can catch the ball, but he's not fast enough to be one of my halfbacks in the shotgun a lot. So I'm going to cut him. We'll do that. So now we're down to how many left? We need to cut 3 more guys. So let's look at some other positions. Wide receiver, I could cut somebody here. I don't really want to. We got a bunch of young guys we're going to need later on. Let's just wait. Let's keep going. Tight end. We're losing 1 next year. We're going to have a couple of guys come back. Trevor Neal, he's the one that we moved up. So, unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and get... let's just wait. Tackle, well, I think we're fine here. I want 5 there. I want 5 at guard. We probably don't need 4 centers. Skinner's going to start for me because of his awareness. He's as good as backup as we'll ever have. So I may cut... Oh, it's just a tough decision. Let's just keep going. I need to cut somebody. I think I may cut somebody down here. Like, this kid right here is a good chance I'll probably get rid of. He just doesn't fit our scheme anymore. So no offense to Grievous, but I'm going to cut him. That gets us down to 5 defensive ends. I'm okay there. So 2 more guys we could cut. I'm not going to cut any defensive tackles. Those guys are hard to get as is. Go to outside linebacker. I want to keep all those. I want to keep those. Corner, I'm going to have to get rid of Brandon Vincent. Will it let me? Yes. Good deal. So now we're down to 1 player, and we're going to get rid of that kicker. Great. Let's look at something really quick. We'll go to kick power, kick accuracy. His power is better, but his accuracy is not. So do you keep the true freshman and get rid of this guy? Just a tough call. I don't really need 2. Kickers can't play punter as well as punters can play kickers. Otherwise, I would keep one and convert one to punter. Let me go back really quick because I wouldn't actually mind redshirting that kid. Let's go back. And do I really need to get rid of this freshman, junior, sophomore? Let's just get rid of Richard Brown. No offense to him, but we can have him go. So that is it. We got rid of a bunch of quarterbacks. Unfortunately, we just over-recruited. It happens. That's part of it. I mean, how many quarterbacks leave Alabama and, Clemson? It happens all the time. In this case, we had to get rid of a few, and that's okay. But at least that frees up our quarterback room for future guys down the road, which we will probably need. So now we're at the max 70, so let's move on to the next step. Now let's look at our roster for next season. Mainly, I just want to look at the freshmen, the income guys, and see what numbers they picked and all that good stuff. So here's our quarterbacks. Nothing really changed there other than we got rid of some guys, unfortunately. Then you got halfback. Adam Hawkins is number 5. That is an awesome number for a halfback. I'm glad to see him pick that. Then you go to wide receiver. We picked up a few guys here. Derek Henderson is 182 overall. I'm okay with him leaving at 82. We can always change that down the road if needed. Then you have Barry Baker, 80. I'm fine with that. That's a classic wide receiver number. Albert Hopkins is 87. And then Steve Capps is 16. That's a great number for him. Tight end, we picked up 2 guys. Trevor Neal, 86. And then number 43, Jason Buttles. That's just an odd number for a tight end, but cool to see there. Tackle, we picked up a couple of guys. Marcus Benson, 71. Kevin Johnson, 69. Guard, we did pick up 1. Robert Avery at 72. We didn't pick up any centers. Defensive end, all we done here was move down Scott from middle linebacker to defensive end. We didn't pick up any tackles. Outside linebacker, we picked up Tim Joseph, 51. That's a good middle linebacker number. I'm happy with that. And Clint Hall's 41. I'm perfectly happy with that. Middle linebacker, Zach Mangiero, 57. Corner, we picked up Josh Wilson, number 9. That's a great number. Most cornerbacks usually get single-digit numbers. That's just the kind of the way it's set up in this game, but not always. Free safety, we got a couple freshmen here. 39 for Jesse Ostrom, and then 37 for Marcus Carter. And then strong safety, we picked up 2. John Cooper, 30, and Michael Ralph, 25. Kicker, Tony Smith is a 42. I kept the other kicker because I think I may redshirt Smith, and I may end up having both on the roster next year in case we can't find a punter. So that is it for the offseason. So come on back. In our next video, we will go through all of our preseason shenanigans, our schedule, our in-season recruiting. We're going to go through a lot of the new additions I'm going to make, changes and such. So that should be a lot of fun. So come on back, and I'll talk to you later.